Nuamah to Fulham, Nuamah to Everton. If you are Ernest Nuamah's people, which would you prefer?
Fulham. They've lost Willian. So I think that there's a space that's opened up for a winger.
Yes, exactly. And they've not bought.
And they haven't bought anybody.
And they could overread.
But they could overread is gone. You cannot really trust Adama Traore.
Yeah.
Right? So
maybe oil man.
So you'd want to have
runs until he runs out of space.
You know.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once more. My name is Adam. There is an exclusive update concerning Ernest Nuamah, and this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. You can see the statement here. I'm going to read it out very quickly. He says that exclusive, Fulham agreed deal to sign Ernest Nuamah on permanent move from Olympique Lyon. Here we go. Verbal agreement done, working on the paperwork to be completed in time. Let's not forget, today is deadline day. Things are moving in the transfer market. It passed Makola market. And I'm just happy that Ernest Nuamah chose Fulham over Everton because he had the option to choose any of those teams. But in choosing Fulham, I'm really excited for Ernest Nuamah. And it's the EPL. It's the EPL, Black Star players. And I've already said that Ernest Nuamah's best friends are all playing in the EPL. Abdul Fattah Ishahaku, Leicester City. Mohamed Kudus, West Ham. Kamaldeen Suleiman, Southampton. So you kind of understand why the player would be geared more to come into the EPL, and I'm really excited to get the 4 horsemen of the Black Star, the future of the Black Star, the 4 players we believe are the future of the Black Stars, all coming to the EPL at a very young age to get the experience, to get the exposure. Trust me, very soon the Black Star squad will be full of Galacticos because of the teams they play. Ernest Nuamah in the EPL, it won't be too long when Chelsea and Co will now be fighting for his signature because he is lethal. If you think Mohamed Kudus dribbles a lot, Ernest Nuamah is come to giving competition in the EPL. And I'm just excited about this particular move. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Now, that is not all for today's video. Let's check out some latest update coming from Coach Nimley. Let's check it out together.
Everywhere, as far as the transfer portal is concerned, I want to tell you about an interesting transfer that involves a Ghanaian. He is heading to Barcelona as the first ever Ghanaian player to head to Barcelona directly. So he's going to the La Masia Academy. That's what's going on. He is heading to the La Masia Academy. Who am I talking about? I'm sure a lot of you are asking yourselves, but you are going on and on. You are not even telling us who specifically you are going on about. But like I said, the Ghanaian guy is heading to Barcelona. Plays for Accra Lions. He's 18 years old. 18 years old. Hold on a bit there. Let me get you my information sheet and then we will get into it. So David Oduro is the name, right? Gabi?
Yeah, David Oduro, yeah.
David Oduro, Accra Lions, 18 years old. I've also
done a few checks.
Yes, so just some background on him. Played his Colts or played for a Division 2 side here.
Yeah. So Desidero.
Yep.
Fadama, that's where they play.
Coach, you know that team well?
Yeah, very well. They've been there for
quite a while.
Yeah.
Over 25 years.
Oh, wow.
So they play their football, the Fadama Astrotef. Sheikh Shaributu.
Yeah.
So actually he was part of he played in the U17.
Yep.
The KGL Foundation stuff, the GFE organized. So that is where people began to pay attention to him. And Accra Lions took hold of him, stayed there for 2 seasons, played a large chunk of the games. I mean, they just ended one. He played 13. Very good left back. He's very disciplined.
Attack-minded.
But the people I spoke to, the people close to him, tell me that he's a very, very good chap. And earlier this year, January, he went to Barca and Chelsea to hold trials over there. And I think the Barca fraternity are happy with.
Actually, he went to Leverkusen as well.
Okay, are happy with what they saw with him. So it's a big move. It's a big, like you said in your intro, moving directly from a Ghanaian club to a Spanish team. It says big. But quickly, he was part of the team under Pakwesi Fabian that played the Starlets. Qualified. They failed to qualify for the U17 AFCON because of some MRI stuff that went wrong. And I mean that didn't shake him off. It didn't shake him off, and that's when Accra Lions took hold of him. I'm very excited that at this time at Accra Lions, he wasn't getting too many chances because at the time he was competing with another good left back in that team. But the season that just got ended before the new season he played a very large chunk of games for Accra Lions. Yeah, so it's a big move.
Now talk about a little background for him. So some Danish clubs were looking at him. In fact, a Danish team came all the way here and spent like a week
to watch him.
Watching him. They actually offered Accra Lions money to take him away. And Accra Lions apparently were fielding quite a number of offers for him. So this guy is hot. So he was being looked at by Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. And according to my checks, Al Ahly offered as much as 8 million euros.
Hey!
Yeah, for the young chap. 8 million euros. So Al Ahly from Saudi Arabia, Galatasaray and Fenerbahce from Turkey.
Yeah.
Fena.
And then the Danish team that I'm talking about. But according to the background, again, there is a link. Let me tell you what the link is. Lothar Matthias of Accra Lions and Hansi Flick of Barcelona. So good friendship from back in the day. Right. They've spoken about the young chap. They think that he is one for the future. And truth is, there's no clarity on whether he will even break into the main Barca team. But what we know is that Accra Lions as a team doing the transfer stand to get a good chunk of an onward transfer fee. Yes. So there's a very healthy onward transfer fee inserted into his clause there. And you should expect that it could be that in 6 months to a year, maybe a little over that or under that, he could move to another team for more money. So David is primed for big things. We are happy for him. It's a move I don't commit because it's a no pressure move.
That is huge.
Nobody is don't commit you to the main Barca team. It's to the academy or to the team B where you can learn, you can get to grow, and hopefully you can make a big jump to another team. So David Oduro, Accra Lions, don't commit the move. Gabi, talk to us about more Ghanaian transfers. Which other interesting transfers
So today we had Kasim Adams.
Okay.
Signing for Servette.
Hey, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Hey.
Kasim Adams signing for Servette. You know, Servette played Chelsea yesterday. In the conference league playoffs.
Describe Servette in a way I didn't like today at all.
So it's Chelsea too.
You say you can't pronounce the team's name.
It's a 1-year contract with an option to extend for another season. But you know, Servette are taking him because he's he's got a well-established reputation in the Swiss league. So
played for young boys, won the title with them.
FC Basel.
Played for FC Basel as well. So he's played for the biggest teams in Switzerland.
Exactly. So between 2016 and 2018, that's what he played for young boys, and they feel, given his experience with the two teams, they can go on and do big things. So that's one player who made a move today.
Nathan, talk to me about Kasim Adams. I feel like he has underwhelmed a little. He was primed for big things. Very, very strong in the air. Was pretty comfortable. Looked like some guy who
built.
Could, like 6'4" actually.
You know,
pretty tall guy.
The last time when he was at Hoffenheim, this was I think sometime last season. You know, our very good friend Fenty Tahiru, he was in Germany, I think, for a visit, and in that press conference he asked about Kasim Nuhu. And I think basically the coach said, well, Kasim Nuhu really did not, he wasn't giving him what he wanted. He really wasn't delivering as much, so that was why he wasn't getting minutes. It was quite worrying hearing that. I just hope that this move, I mean, he's 29 now. I hope this move works out for him. So the next few years, he'll have some stability. You know, he's playing in a league he knows, like we've said. He knows the league already. He brings a lot of experience, but he will have to earn those minutes, right? Servette know his value. They know that this is a player who has experience in the league. They know he's got quality, but he has to show, because clearly at Hoffenheim he wasn't showing that much quality, and that's why he wasn't getting a lot of minutes and a lot of opportunities. I hope he gets the chance to excel. He has to apply himself, and if all works well, we should see him, do very well in the Swiss league. I don't know whether, if after a few years, assuming he does really well, if he would want to attempt something that's of a higher profile than Switzerland. I do not know, but for now, he has to.
So go to Saudi Arabia.
I think he's pretty much settled.
Look,
but just a quick one on the Desideros club.
Yeah.
They've also transferred another talented winger, Kwame Sosu Jr.
to Real Betis.
Yeah. Real Betis scouts were in Ghana earlier this year, and they spotted him, and he caught their eye, and they've given him the chance to play for the team, on trials and be with the academy. And so, that's another move that has.
It's a 4-year deal, actually.
It's a 4-year deal,
in the region of around 35k euros. He'll be with the under 19s. And then
he's 18 years.
Yes, he'll be later integrated into their main team. A winger who can play as a number 8, like you mentioned.
So that's another good move for Desideros.
Okay, so
also was part of Samuel Bodu's under 20 team, actually. So,
so on the Kasim Nuamah.
Yeah.
Look, if there's any Ghanaian defender who's really disappointed me.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be our long-term, like, lockdown centre back.
The one who fills that John Mensah void.
Yeah.
You see, as a country, we've never replaced John Mensah.
Nope.
We've never.
Nope.
So when I saw Kasim, look at his physique. I remember that game, Black Stars versus South Africa in Cape Coast.
The one Kudus came on and scored.
Yeah, because he was patterning Joseph Edu that day. And if you look at, I don't remember the last time we had a ball playing centre back like that.
And he was very dominant in the air as well.
Very dominant because he's big. He's got the stature
Yep.
to bully. And when he goes up, he wins. On the ground, he's absolutely brilliant. So for me, I just didn't know what happened. That his footballing career just went on the dip like that. There were times where in that German Bundesliga, he was very, very dominant. He was spoken about a lot.
First two seasons. Yep.
I just didn't know what went wrong. And then recently, was it which Blaster coach invited him back recently?
I think it was Chris Hughton.
Chris Hughton.
Yep.
I remember I watched him. There was a game in Kumasi. I don't remember which game it was when the one that Daniel Amate from nowhere just held his hamstring. It's in Krodo because he couldn't run. You remember that game?
I do.
So he came up. But that day when I looked at him, I said, come on, he looked too comfortable for me. And he looked completely out of shape. I am happy that he's been given such an opportunity to go and resurrect. Because look, this career shouldn't have gone the way it's gone. At all. If you look at the talent.
He should have been prime for like a big Premier League team by now.
Chelsea defender attack right there.
Badiashile.
He's far better than those people. And for him to have gone the way he's gone, it's a bit shocking. I hope and pray
that he can find
that
his
he
way.
sees this as the last opportunity. He should challenge himself and get his true talent out there. At least they've shown that they can beat Chelsea. So if he gets the opportunity, Chelsea team may be.
But they didn't qualify.
Let's talk about.
They beat Chelsea yesterday 2-1.
Yeah, but they didn't qualify.
They beat Chelsea. It's not about qualification.
Let's talk about a deal that could happen with an exciting Ghanaian player, Ernest Nuamah, to either Fulham or Everton. So we hear that both clubs are in a tussle in the background trying to get a move over the line, and Olympique Lyonnais are actually inclined to sell. If they get a credible offer, they are going to sell. Let me start with you, Nathan, on this one. Nuamah to Fulham, Nuamah to Everton. If you are Ernest Nuamah's people, which would you prefer?
Fulham. They've lost Willian. So I think that there's a space that's opened up for a winger.
Yes, exactly. And they've not bought.
And they haven't bought anybody.
And they could overread.
They could overread is gone. You cannot really trust Adama Traore.
Yeah.
Right? So
maybe oil man.
So you'd want to have
runs until he runs out of space.
So I think they are still looking at an extra winger, somebody who can come in and give them something. And when you look at Nuamah, he's got a high ceiling. His profile is good. I won't say he excelled in France, no, but the potential was there.
The glimpses were there.
The glimpses were there. If you read the French papers, you listen to French football pundits, all across the board, the understanding was that Nuamah had the workings of a player and that if he got the opportunity. The problem is that Lyon is a very horrible place these days. Things are just not working well. I think they've lost this evening. There is a problem with the team. Lyon need to reset. Financially, they are also trying to put their house in order. So that's why they look at all they have and they say that, okay, Nuamah looks like a very sellable asset. Yeah. So they're trying to move him on. So let's just see. But I if I were his people, I'd push him more towards Fulham. They look more settled. Everton this season will be very complex for Everton. Because even though next season they are moving into their new stadium. It could be in the Championship.
Yep.
And Everton as a club need money.
Yeah.
They are in a place where they're trying to get some new owners. The 777 people. It didn't really work.
They're looking for new investors to
that
come
kind
in.
of thing. So Everton, it's not a right place to be psychologically. Higher up, Sean Dyche might do his best to stabilize the dressing room, but it's a pressure situation, and I don't think Nuamah needs a place like that. So I would prefer that he goes to Fulham. But let's see what the two clubs will offer to Lyon. For Lyon, they will listen to the offer that makes the most financial sense to them, and they will.
Now, don't forget that Lyon. So Lyon picked up Ernest Nuamah. They were supposed to have signed him last season, but they had some complications with that transfer. He was good. So they sent him on loan to a Belgian team called Molenbeek, and then they made the transfer permanent this season. So he's barely been with them permanently at all, and already they are trying to move him on. And the details I'm getting here also say that they are looking basically to loan him out first, so they see how it goes. Maybe if he strikes like iron, or he strikes like a hot streak, then maybe the value goes up. Then they can probably sell him for good money. But as things stand, looks like nothing has really changed. I will try and see if I can get some details.
I feel a little sad for Nuamah, because in the last 2 years he's had to make these moves from North Island to Lyon through this loan.
These things, it doesn't help the progress of the player.
Yeah, these things don't.
He's still a young player.
He needs a stable environment.
He needs a very stable environment. And for me, I really don't get it. Than to clearly back what Nathan have said, that the place called Lyon is in sixes and sevens. There's no harmony there. There's no peace there.
Yeah,
so he has to fight with the owners. Everything busy basa. So I think, look, his owners or his managers, those people who are in charge of the young boy, look, do everything practically possible. Sit down, get them. If it is a loan deal, I really don't mind where he goes. Everton or
Fulham.
If it's a loan there, he can go to Everton.
Yeah.
If that is a very viable place for him to let him go, let him be given the chance. And I look at that Everton team. I think when he goes there, he will also play regularly there, showcase his true talent, remind everybody of how good he is as a player, and then let's see what happens to him in January.
But in the Everton squad, for example, if
he's left-footed, so Dwight McNeil.
Neil
Maupay has also moved to Marseille.
McNeil,
but you see,
he's a lazy player. He doesn't run. He always.
I get you, and I think McNeil he's flexible, because over time he started on the left, and then they moved him to the right. I also think he can play through the middle.
And Nuamah too can also play right, can play left, can play. So I think if it was to be like
a loan, then should go to Everton.
Then I'll say Fulham. But if it's a loan, I don't care where he goes.
As long as you get to play consistent minutes.
That is all.
Yeah, that's
he will showcase his true talent, and then he will.
So Ernest Nuamah is a very interesting one we should be keeping an eye out for. We'll see. Somebody's talking about Daniel Opari here. Is this where is Daniel Opari? That's a very
the last time
it was in
Belgium.
Yeah,
and his team got relegated.
Is he still playing football?
Yeah, that's the last time I heard of
all those the 2009 people.
2007, the under 17.
I'm talking about the under
33 now.
Yeah. Oh no more.
What team is that?
So Daniel Opari in the mix. Yeah, RSB Serang. I think I know that.
That's the last team he played for.
So he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. So there's another transfer here, Emmanuel Siam. That's an extension, FC Basel.
Man, let's not forget about Salih Samed too.
Good. That's a good one to look.
Sunderland, yeah.
So it's supposed to be a loan deal.
Yes.
Is it still in the works?
Yeah, so
not done yet.
Sources Le Parisien and Foot Mercato.
Yeah.
So loan.
Is it completed?
It's not completed. It's still working.
Deal still in the works. So basically,
Salih's case is interesting. 2 years ago, or 2.5 to 3 years ago, he was hot on the rise.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he hits a brick wall, attitude problems, things don't work well. And Lance are very, very quick.
I like the fact that you brought attitude problems in.
Lance are, just moving. But think about it. This was a player 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago. We were all very happy to have a player
in fact, statistically, he was part of the top 10 highest ball winners in Europe that season. Statistically, he was in that numbers don't lie category.
Went to a World Cup and everything. 2 years
was nominated for the
League One midfielder of the year,
African footballer of the year. And you know that League One has a lot of talented African players. So if you are nominated for that award, then it means you really did something good.
It's lost it.
Also, there's a little upheaval at Lens, actually. So I think they are selling off a lot of their players. So they sold Openda the season before. They sold another guy to Lyon.
A bit
recently.
of context. This is a bit of context. Now, the Ligue 1 or Ligue 1 is facing a bit of an issue, and lots of the smaller clubs are feeling it. This is it. Not a lot of people bought the Ligue 1 TV rights. So, for example, Ligue 1 is not in England. So people in England, they can't watch French football officially. Because of that, they've had problems. You know, TV rights will bring in a lot of money. Now, England is a great, viable market. Once the TV rights can't be sold, it means that there's no money coming in. By extension, some of the smaller clubs will not have money. So if you study the French transfer window, for example, teams are eager to sell off players. So you go to Lille, they've been thinking about selling off, what's the name of the guy? Jonathan David. And players who 2 years ago, the clubs would have kept and charged you a premium. Now they want to sell off the players.
is now bankrupt.
You know, so there's a financial problem hitting a lot of the clubs because of this lack of TV rights money and all of
Shamak's Bordeaux.
Just a quick one on Salis. You see, the fact, I don't know, but he's not grown.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not taking that step
at all. And for me, like Nathan rightly
I think his place in the national team is even under threat.
When we saw him at the World Cup,
lost it, Ben.
we were a bit pleased with whatever he did at the World Cup. But since then,
Because if Ibrahim
I've always maintained that he cannot be that that midfield partner to Thomas Partey. If you are going to Sunderland, then you make division mayor.
They're in the
Championship.
Okay. To some
It's
extent,
a loan move.
But if you look at where he was or his hype at the time, and for him to be going to the championship, I think it's a downgrade. But you see, such things do happen. It's about how mentally strong you are as a player.
It's a reality
If there are things that he's doing that he's not doing, attitude problem. You see, you must be ready to take instructions and improve your game. That is what people are looking out for. The coaches out there, that's what they are looking out for.
True.
What are you bringing on board differently to make their team better or to make my team better? If it's about offering me what I have already got, then it's better I don't get closer to you. But you see, I don't know, but most of the problem with some of our players, and I've seen that to be very Ghanaian.
African.
With our African players. Look,
African players.
I don't see why a player in Ghana would describe himself as a DM or as a box-to-box midfielder and not go and look at the clips of Michael Essien and get a coach sit with him to explain. If you say this is your role, this is the way it is done.
Because
don't go and look at somebody
in that same French league, and Salis doesn't. Michael Essien was king,
and you see, Essien recommended Salis. I am told from a very reliable source that Michael Essien did recommend Salis to the. You see, he came in very late in the World Cup from nowhere. He didn't play, bumped into the team. So, if somebody of that caliber is recommended you that look, you can do a job in the position that he once played in and excelled in, you should go and be learning some clips. Our players, they don't do that. They're on social media.
Laughing gas, can he be?
Yes.
That's what Bissouma did, and they Tottenham suspended him for the first game.
You have to. You should be asking yourself, what can I do to improve? Because you are not the only DM in the world.
True.
There are so many players in your position. What makes you different from them? That is what makes you unique. And for me, I look at Salis and I've told myself that, look, even watching Thomas Partey, when he plays with Thomas Partey, look at the two men, you see a vast difference. We are not saying they should be of the same quality, but at least there are some basic rudiments that you are expected to be doing when you are in that role. We don't see that from him. He picks the ball 5 yards, 10 yards. Maximum he goes is 20 yards. You don't play. Go and look at Andre Pirlo. Go and look at Sergi Busquets. Go and look at players in that role, how they played it. If I'm closer to him, the move to Sutherland, these are the sort of things I'll be telling him. After training, just come and sit back. Get those clips put together for yourself and technically rewatch them. And you don't only watch, you go and put them into practice.
It's true.
See whether you can make them part and parcel of you. Let the people at Lille, see you differently. If they're not going to bring you back, you get yourself a better move and then add to your value.
Especially when Sekou Fofana left RC Lens for Saudi.
Yes.
There was a big hole there.
Step up.
There was a big hole there.
The guy to step into that role, and he didn't. And at this point in time, while still the head coach, he pushed him to the reserve team. And so, should this move materialize, it will be a very good one.